You're a bad girl, Tracy.
Try me.
Welcome to the show about the show, the podcast. This is episode 455. My name is Will, and I'm a whole lot of grown-ass American woman. As always, I am joined by Ben, whose log has a message for us. Hi, Ben.
Hello.
How's
Wasn't
your log?
expecting that one.
Really?
That's fine. Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't like the alt. But I can hit you with it anyway. I'm joined as always by Ben, who's a bad girl. Hi, Ben.
Okay. That's better than the log one.
Is it? All right. And of course, Atticus is here, who is off a touch of the mythic AK-47 by way of the Amsterdam Express. Hi, Atticus.
Hi. Thank you.
Today, we're very excited to welcome Chris Bell to the show. Chris is a filmmaker, director of Miss Miette, Attention Shoppers, Failed State, among many other excellent projects, most of which are available at Means.tv. Means TV is an anti-capitalist worker cooperative streaming service of which both Chris and I are members, and Chris sits on the board. Chris, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I wish I knew how to speak backwards. That'd be a good thing to do right now, right?
Have you ever tried it to do the...
No.
Okay.
Should I try now?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, no.
It's really hard. I've tried it.
It's really hard.
To like, just
I'm not going to do it.
Listen to like the syllable beat by beat. Just
yeah.
And it's... I can't. My brain's it isn't good with it.
Hey, Can I just say I said the exact same thing to you last week, Will. I said, can I try speaking backwards? And you were like, no. No, don't waste our podcast with that.
I don't remember that.
Okay.
Okay. This is a show currently about Twin Peaks. Today we're talking about The Return Part 1. We also have a Patreon where we release a bonus hangout show every week. That's over at patreon.com/Dr. Skeleton. Subscribe to us on YouTube if you haven't already. Did anyone else accidentally rewatch season 1, episode 1 for far too long before realizing they had the wrong stream, or was that just me?
What?
Well, I haven't seen this before, Chris. That's the thing. This is new to me. I'm watching it for the first time, and I don't know. I was too lazy to put the disc in, and so I thought I would go through the, maybe the little bit of janky bootleg setup that I have rigged to my TV, and just found a stream for Twin Peaks, what I thought was The Return episode 1, but I watched the entire intro sequence, like the classic intro sequence, and I was like furiously taking notes. I was like, wow, I can't believe, like, I'm prepared to know that this is like not gonna be anything like the original show. I think I
like it though.
And I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna like pull the rug any second, and it's gonna be crazy. Like, oh wow, what is he saying by just running back the old title sequence right at the beginning here? And my wife had to stop and be like, this is the wrong episode. You're doing this wrong. I guess that was just me then.
I did that the first time I listened to a Cloud Nothings album. I listened to it all the way through, and I was like, this is pretty like avant-garde, kind of hurts my ears. And then at the end I realized that I had accidentally kind of cut halfway through the cable, and that's why it was just noise.
Yeah.
I did something similar when Arrested Development season 4 was going to hit Netflix. I was working overnights at the time, so I'm like, I'm going to see it before everybody. Like, it starts my shift. Technically, that's when it should be available. And I wasn't paying attention because I guess I was working an overnight. And I just started watching the first episode thinking, and I was just like, whatever. I was like, yeah, it's not that good. This is like really weird. And then I found out, I slowly discovered that they were debuting the season at, I think, 2 or 4 a.m., which I would then be able to see. But yeah, I was kind of pissed off.
This
really
development
forward
seems
to this,
particularly Arrested this week.
Yes.
And then you were super wrong about it being bad.
The morning when I was relieved by my coworker. I was like, so I watched Arrested Development. It's and I was very didn't know what to say. It was very much and I don't even know what you're saying. Like, do you like the new season, the
No,
newer season at the time? Do you like season 4? I have no
I
idea.
didn't.
What's the general consensus?
I thought I was with the general consensus that it was not as good, but
Yes.
could be
Okay.
wrong.
I remember I can't see anybody else's face, so
Yeah, we run a really
I'm gonna
tight
do
ship
very
over
well.
here at the show about the show. We've got all sorts of excellent excellent ways of throwing off our guests by having them like basically only stare at me the whole time and see nobody else. And by the way, Atticus, could you mind turning up a little bit too?
I can turn up.
Really
Yeah.
great.
That's
That would
another
be-
little power trick I'm doing on everyone that they have to
Nice.
lean
Just
forward whenever I say
hit
anything.
the lean in. Okay. Well, okay. Chris, what is your history with Twin Peaks, I guess, specifically? When did you come to the series?
I when did the official DVDs come out? Um, that would be. I'm not gonna look this up. I believe it was high school.
Okay.
Was the official DVD release. I want to say, and that's when I got into it. I watched it with my girlfriend at the time. I want to say either junior high or ninth grade was my first David Lynch Mulholland Drive I watched.
That was my first
And
David Lynch as well.
it's quite the I mean, what's the good one
It's the famous one. Yeah.
get into knowing nothing?
Mhm.
So yeah, I watched it in high school, and then I want to say I watched it. Did I watch it again in college? I don't know, but I want to say 20. The Return came out in 2016 or 2017,
Yeah,
something like
2017.
that. Okay, so 2016, my now wife and I were rewatching it because she had never seen it, so we could lead into
Okay.
The Return. So yeah, I'm a big fan. I guess I've watched it. I can say right now I watched it twice. I feel like there's a third time. I think there was a middle watch in there. I could be wrong. Um, but yeah, I have a pretty deep history with it.
Nice. Do you have any favorite characters? Like if you were
Do
to
I
take the
have?
BuzzFeed quiz, who are you of the Twin
Oh,
Peaks
I don't
characters?
know. Yeah, I don't know about that. I think
Tag yourself.
having what?
Tag yourself.
I think having watched The Return, that kind of colored how I felt about
Sure.
certain people. And this is going to be really hard for me to talk about because I don't want to spoil anything for you, and or even just be like, when that happens or
Yeah.
whatever. But if I think back to watching The Return the first time, and I've only seen The Return once. Um, Bobby Briggs, I felt a newfound love for, like given his arc in or where he came from, where he starts in Twin Peaks Return. I was
Cool.
like, holy shit, really love like Bobby Briggs, like MVP.
Nice.
Yeah, and Dale's a good one. Um, I don't know, really love Audrey. There's
Yeah.
no one I really hate. I mean, I don't know how obvious this is, but what's his face? Shit.
Bob doesn't seem like he's a
Um,
good guy. I've noticed
he's
so
not a
far.
good guy.
Okay.
Bob's not a good guy. Who's the guy that everyone hates?
Oh, James.
James. Yeah, James would be the obvious answer. It's like, oh
Sure.
man, he sucks. I am so amused by him now.
I'm kind
I
of a
don't
James
even.
defender, honestly.
Okay.
Because we soldiered through the slump in season 2, and
Mhm.
I have just kind of ambiently absorbed Twin Peaks information over the years, and kind of knew that there was the slump. People didn't really like James. I ended up, I think, appreciating James more than like I think there was much worse parts about the slump
Mhm.
overall. And
Yeah.
okay, so I appreciate the I want you to feel free to talk about whatever you want to talk about, to get your points across here about The Return. Because I'm also interested we talked a little bit offline. I ended up watching the missing pieces this last week. I thought that was actually really interesting to like. Felt a lot closer to what maybe people wanted out of Firewalk with Me, because there was a lot of just like hanging out with characters that fan favorite characters. It was a much easier watch to watch the missing pieces. And when we're heading into the return, yeah, my head's spinning a bit. I'm not really sure what to expect. I maybe I'll return to this question after we discuss the first episode in total here, but I want to get your perspective, Chris, on if there are any tips for how we should be receiving the return here. I guess I haven't seen the return yet. Atticus hasn't seen it. Ben has. And so Ben has been keeping us spoiler free, but thematically, I don't know, like any recommendations for how we should calibrate our expectations. If you've got an answer right away, feel free to jump in, or we can come back to the at the end of the show.
Not really. It's been so long, and I was reading a lot about it as it was airing, and a little bit after, trying to figure out, what was going on, what is it about that I may have missed, what are the missing pieces, as you will, that are not in my brain but are in the show that I didn't pick up on. I always thought it was a really interesting meditation on the passage of time and aging. You can't go back, kind of a thing. It's very overtly about that, and it's very, in many cases, meta about that, even taking its own legacy into question.
Sure.
So I don't know how fun this is for you, but that's always I don't even know if I would say fun, but it's always interesting to me to be like, why are we following this narrative strand, or this experiential strand? Like, what does that mean in the grand scheme of like David Lynch, of the Twin Peaks universe, of the television universe? So I'd always look out for stuff with that. And another thing that occurred to me this time is that we opened with was it the fireman speaking to Dale in the black and white, and maybe that's not the opening, but it's very early.
Yeah.
And man, okay, I don't want to say too much about that. I guess I'll just say this. We're jumping around in different locations, which is like pretty new for you guys who haven't seen it. The original show didn't really do that, and that's like probably an interesting new development.
Like we're in New York, for example,
Yeah.
in South Dakota and in Twin Peaks, rather than just staying in the town. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope this won't complicate things, but it occurred to me that even though they are placed in the timeline, like the editing timeline of the episode and the story that is being told, I'm not confident that they're all happening concurrently.
Okay.
And I think it's kind of, by the time you get to the end, that will reveal itself in an obvious way, in a way. But I'm kind of thinking about that in general now. Like, I think there are certain things that are maybe not happening at the same time. And that's been kind of fun to play around with in my head, especially knowing that, like, I don't know if I'm going to, like, tonight or tomorrow watch episode 2. This was exciting to me because I was like, oh, I get to jump in on episode 1, which was this like huge moment.
Sure.
And I get to kind of relive that and be like, after all of this, what does episode 1 feel like?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
I think they aired parts 1 and 2 together, or at least back to back. If there seemed to be some sort of not recommendation, but suggestion that they are perhaps meant to be taken as one piece, parts 1 and 2. But then also, David Lynch has talked about how the whole thing, all 18 parts, is like a movie as well. And we're just gonna watch this piece by piece. But I think we divvied up. But like I'm so disoriented by the end of part 1 here that like I don't know whether or not I should expect that part 2 starts to clarify stuff or not. But I mean, we'll just see. We'll just let it happen, I guess. We're gonna go through the summary here. Atticus is gonna read it out to us. We're gonna pause after a scene or two and discuss our reactions. And take it away, Atticus.
You don't have any extra log lady insight or copy,
Yeah,
do you?
we're done with log lady introductions.
Okay.
This episode is kind of every episode has like, it's not a title really, but it's sort of like a slogan or subtitle. This one is "My log has a message for you."
Cooper sits in the red room across from Laura Palmer, who tells him, "I'll see you again in 25 years. Meanwhile," and she makes a gesture with her hands.
The gesture. And this is old footage. Or they aged incredibly well. Cooper and Laura there. And I'm going all in on tree theory. I've been making a big deal about Twin Peaks is about trees. The ASL sign for tree is this. It's very close to this.
Wow, I'm so excited for you to keep watching.
Okay.
I'll just say that.
Okay.
25 years later, an aged Cooper without his FBI lapel pins sits across from a man resembling the giant, who points his attention to a phonograph which produces a strange scratching sound. He then says, "It is in our house now, and it all cannot be said aloud now." He then tells Cooper to remember 4:30 and Richard and Linda, two birds with one stone. He tells Cooper that he is far away, and Cooper disappears.
All right, Atticus. I bet your ass thought that was the giant.
My stupid ass was thinking that. Yeah, I was like,
dude,
look,
I wish
this
you
appears to be
we
the
weren't in
giant.
Missouri.
It is the
Otherwise, I'd beat
giant.
the shit out of you for being so stupid. I can't believe you thought that was the giant, dude. God. Yeah, it's not until reading this summary that I'm like, this man resembling the giant. Yes, of course. He looks very similar to the giant. Obviously a different man, of course. And I know, I also read, apparently this guy's name is Fireman or something.
Yeah.
But he looks like the giant from before. Is it the same guy? I don't know. And I'm like, okay, I'm talking to myself. I'm like, okay, 4:30, Richard and Linda, two birds with one stone. I'm like, I'm doing like the parasite like over and over again. Like, I gotta remember 4:30. But I think I shouldn't do that. I think I should just like chill and let it happen. Nothing is. I was not rewarded for remembering that throughout the rest of the episode. I'll say.
You're going to have to be doing that for a very long time if that's your plan.
Okay.
I'll say that.
Then I won't.
You were rewarded with some Dr. Jacoby, though.
Yes, sir.
Joe delivers shovels to Lawrence Jacoby.
It is so weird to see this stuff shot digitally. Like, it's totally uncanny to see like the trees, the forest, and especially like Jacoby, even though uncanny in many ways, just the passage of time, but also like seems to be crystallized in a particular way, like kind of hung up. He's still wearing his the same glasses, having a real like everyone groans at my shit moment where he takes off his sunglasses to reveal his other sunglasses.
I was under the impression that the return was shot in 35. Is that not the case? Yeah, I remember at the time him being like, "Oh, thank God we're able to shoot on 35. That's what I wanted." I remember.
Oh my gosh! Then maybe I'm just responding to like the aspect ratio again or something. It looks very clean. And so
no, it was digital. It was okay. It was digital apparently.
And woo, bona fides.
Yes,
intact.
Yeah.
That's going to be the highlight clip.
This scene with Jacoby, I have no idea what to make of it. Someone named Joe delivers a bunch of shovels to Jacoby. All right, you guys got plans for shovels, I suppose. Framing it. Okay, I'm on my tree bullshit, but it seems like the positioning of the camera. With this conversation like that with like Joe and Jacoby way in the background, you could barely hear it. the foreground is like just trunks of trees. And so like if it was me and I was like, okay, Twin Peaks is actually about trees. It's been 25 years. People haven't gotten on the tree bandwagon yet. The first time I show somebody from the old series, or like one of the first scenes, I'm just gonna. How do I tell them visually that it's about trees? You just put trees right in the middle, and it's just the trees. But I might just be like completely spinning out about this. But like, let's tree time, baby.
I can't spoil anything, you know.
Yeah, I know.
I do enjoy that Jacoby is like mass ordering shovels, but is wanting to do whatever he's doing by himself. That's turns down help, but has like 100 shovels. I
Oh
don't
yeah.
care what he's doing. I'm game for it.
You're up for some Jacoby shenanigans.
Yeah,
Okay.
I won't regret saying that.
No, you won't. No. Yeah.
Were you guys
What-
were you guys surprised that he's not out on an island? Now I can't remember the name of the cities that he name
yes.
drops in the first season, but yeah.
Thank you for
25
the-
years later, what's he doing in the forest?
Right. This just further confirms like he is the least allowed back in Hawaii man of all time. Like he is this is absolutely because he did something that he's super not allowed to return to the island.
In New York City, Sam Colby watches a glass box with cameras pointed at it. He changes the SD card in one of the cameras when an intercom calls for him to do so. He sits back down until he is called out for a delivery from Tracy Barbado, who has brought him coffee. She asks him to go back into the room with him, but with the security guard watching, he tells her that she cannot. When he puts in the code to re-enter the room, she tries looking over his shoulder, but he catches her doing so. Tracy leaves and Sam goes back into the room with his coffee, sitting back down to watch the glass box.
Aerial shot. It's New York City. My wife turns to me on the couch. She says, "No wonder Ben likes this so much. You're Mr. Loving New York over here." I love the vibes of the observation room. This is kind of a dream job for me, I think. To be
Could be you.
This could be me. Changing out the SD card every once in a while. I do have some recommendations for like data and power management for their setup here. Like, I don't know. I think you could probably be running the data straight onto a server or something. What about redundancy here? But whatever. They've got a system. Seems to be working okay. But just like the sparseness of the room, it's so angular, but like it's a cool looking couch with a lamp and stuff. There's something about the vibes that I find very appealing in this scene.
Yeah. It's very it kind of, I think, is even tipping the hat to 2001 A Space Odyssey. Very much like what's his face? The artificial intelligence that goes haywire at the end of the ship.
Yeah.
Hal, yeah, good old Hal. It did kind of remind me of that, just the construction of this like box with the little
Sure.
circular thing in the beginning of it. Yeah, and I also kind of think this thing is like, I don't know, like every scene is just like, oh my God, this is what we're doing. This is what we're spending time on. This feels so weird and eerie. Just this, I don't know, the tone setting of it is like so much weird awe and discomfort. And it also made me wonder like what was going on in terms of how much of this is a dealing with the legacy of Twin Peaks or the legacy of television of just watch a space and wait for something to happen and we're not going to tell you what's going to happen. How much of this is like David Lynch's like, I don't know,
it's us,
admittance.
right?
It's, is it us? Is it people waiting for Twin Peaks? Is it, very interesting. And then something happens and we die, I guess. I don't know. How far can we take this? But yeah, it was very curious to me. And I was very curious the woman looks over his shoulder to see the code or whatever. And I don't know if I clocked this the first time. Maybe I did. I don't know. But I was just like, who is this woman? And is there something more to her than just wanting to spend time with this dude she likes? And I, at this point, I still can't really answer that. And I don't know if that's supposed to be left open or whatever. And then they also talk about like the billionaire who's funding it. They don't know who's funding this thing. And I don't know, Ben, do you know if that's ever answered or if there are theories? I can't remember.
Well, okay, so Will didn't mention this, but I've seen all of The Return except for the final 2 episodes. So
What? What?
Will
What?
Will
Oh
does a
my
very
God.
good job of picking series for us to do where I haven't seen the final 2 episodes because we did Lost before, which was the same situation. So I, unless it's in the final 2 episodes, I don't know. But
I think
I
there's
always
something to
wonder.
psychoanalyze about that, about you, that you want to, like,
Not
you don't want to finish.
yeah,
Do you finish the
yeah, I
last
don't
of
want to finish.
do you take the last cookie?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Definitely. All right, never mind.
Cookies are different. It's very, very different.
Okay. I have a theory about Tracy.
Yeah.
I'll wait in saying nothing more about it. I think it's interesting that they specifically what we do learn about whatever's going on with this box here is that it's a private endeavor. This is a billionaire funding this. This isn't like a government facility that's happening here. Um, and I think Tracy's coat looks a lot like Cooper's like FBI. Looks like an FBI duster type thing.
Mm.
I was I think that I I think she is into Sam, earnestly perhaps, but also I do think she is trying to scope out what's going on in there. I think that she's there for for ulterior motives, and like the costuming just kind of makes me think that maybe there's an investigation happening of some sort. The coffee, of course, I don't know what to make of it, but it's like big Twin Peaks thing happening here. We get to see the bathroom outside of the in the waiting room. Dream setup right there. That's putting that in my house. There's a dire acoustics in that room, I think, is what's happening. And
Well,
this
the
is
couch,
where
the couch itself is an interesting setup. Like you called out how it's a private endeavor, and you can tell that because I don't know, you wouldn't imagine an Area 51 type situation with like the West Elm setup. Like
Mhm.
everything else is quite industrial, but it's in a very trendy place and it's very sparse, but yeah, there's something a little chic about all of it.
all those boxes too is interesting. There's just tons of cardboard boxes.
There's the what do you call it? The loader in the background, the warehouse
Oh, like a
what do you
forklift
call
thing.
those things? A forklift too. Yeah.
Yeah. The the box itself, the glass box. I'm getting Glastonbury Grove vibes here. The cameras around it are reminding me of those sickly sycamores, trying to observe this portal situation happening here. And I think I'll reveal more about this theory when we come back to it. But this is the scene where Sam turns and says, "You're a bad girl, Tracy," when she's like looking over her shoulder. Like the stiltedness of the conversations. It's not that part isn't like different really from the original run, but like seeing it so like clinical and dark in this new way is makes the charm of the original series is totally gone, and now it's just weird and it's like just scary, whereas like the scariness was underneath it all before, but now it's kind of like I'm just worried now.
Yeah. Yeah. I think before this premiered, like I said, I was watching it with my wife, the original run, and people were super excited about the return. And when you revisit the original series, you guys have it pretty fresh. It's like wall to wall music. It's very um, melodramatic. There's a ton going on,
It's a
and
colorful,
yeah,
soft.
he does a thing, and it's completely in line with what he does, but it's pretty far removed from what TV was and is. I was watching and I was like, I don't know how he's going to do this now, and I don't think people are going to be that into it.
Mm,
Um, but he was pretty insistent that you watch Fire Walk with Me to like before going into this. He's like, it's going
sure.
to be similar to that, and that's what you should do. And I think that was a good, and like you said, the missing pieces even more so. Um, I think those are better indications of what the return was going to be versus whatever the original series
Yeah.
was. Um, yeah. Anyway, I also figured out who the billionaire funder was,
Is this
but
something
I
that we
can't tell
should
you.
know by just seeing the
Hmm.
first episode? Okay.
You might figure it out later or have assumptions.
It's Jerry off of his new industry. He's able to fund
It's
all
actually
sorts of
Ben. It's actually Ben.
who we're about to meet. Atticus, tell us about Ben.
Benjamin Horne tells Beverly Page to give a refund to a Mrs. Houseman for 2 days of her stay after a skunk was found in her hotel. Ben's brother Jerry loudly enters, and Ben introduces them and dismisses Beverly. Jerry sits down, and the brothers briefly talk.
Jerry loudly enters, emphasis on the loud. It's Ganja Jerry, you guys. I guess he had the munchies the whole time. That's what his food interest was.
What's he eating today?
Yeah, what was he eating?
It's like
forget.
toast and jam,
Oh, nice.
or some kind of like a pastry with jam on it.
Ben Horn, who was not dead. I definitely thought he died when Doc Hayward punched straight through his damn head and Fire Walk with Me, but I guess he's fine. And he's woke now.
Mm.
It's woke Ben Horn. He Jerry tries talking a little salaciously about Beverly Page, and Ben's like, RESPECT, okay? You gotta be nice to women. This is Beverly Page, played by Ashley Judd. Very interesting casting here. And I can't exactly remember how the timing on everything went. This was probably filmed in like 2015, 2016, released in 2017. Ashley Judd was one of the primary first people to be talking about Harvey Weinstein and how he like blacklisted her and stuff for refusing his advances here. And I think that there's this interesting dynamic between her character here and Ben. If we're gonna just, I don't know, it's just like if it's a cosmic jumbo here, what gumbo,
Gumbo.
cosmic gumbo of metatextuality here, and I don't know, I don't really know what to make of that. I know that David Lynch has like a very sterling reputation amongst the actresses that work with him. I don't know how out people knew Weinstein was like a monster, like it was like an open secret, right? Before like all of the mainstream news got into it.
I don't know about that, but I remember him being an asshole and just very in control of like the films, cutting the films
Yeah.
that he would acquire. That's what I really remember. I don't know if I knew so much about the I mean, do we say allegations? It's like
No,
allegedly.
his
Do we say all that?
crimes,
So
his horrible
yes, his
behavior. Yeah.
yes, terrible crimes. Um, yeah, I don't know how much of it was an open secret. Like I don't
Gotcha. Okay.
think I knew before that. But it's interesting because this again will come up throughout the season in different ways. I don't think it's too out of nowhere given uh, the whole plot stems from Laura Palmer, what she gets up to and into, and then is ultimately killed. The abuse of women is pretty set in the show.
Oh,
So
absolutely. Yeah.
they go on. We'll go on more with that as the return continues. Expect more.
The theme continues.
Lucy Brennan sits at her desk at the Twin Peaks Sheriff Department, and a man in a suit comes, wishing to speak to Sheriff Truman. When Lucy asks whether he wants to speak about insurance with the Sheriff Truman who is sick or the Sheriff Truman who is fishing, he admits that he does not know. He gives her a card and leaves.
Lucy Brennan.
I was happy. Yeah, I was happy for you guys. I know that I tell you most weeks I kind of sit there and watch every episode and evilly laugh to myself thinking about Will and Atticus assuming that this will be the week that they get some answers or they get some of the stuff that they really want. And you guys are so disappointed with not getting to see her and Andy. So I was happy for you when she showed up.
She's she took Andy's last name. That was cute to see that she's got the new name placard there. Something's happened to her sweater game though. It fell off. The old sweaters were much more charming, I think. It's my take.
She's gotten complacent.
And everyone plays this interaction very cool. The guy who like can't just say like it doesn't matter. Like, I don't want to talk. I'm just here to sell insurance. Like give me whoever. And Lucy just is it the Sheriff Truman who's fishing? The Sheriff Truman who's sick? Just both of them are sort of like freaking out over this like thing that shouldn't be that big of a deal.
It makes a difference. It could make a difference, actually,
Yeah.
I think is what she said.
Agent Cooper's doppelganger walks to a house where he incapacitates a guard. He goes inside, where he greets Otis. In the room also are a thin man and a small disabled man in a wheelchair. The guard enters and tries to attack him, but he knocks him out. Bula enters and the doppelganger asks for Ray and Darla. She calls them out and they leave with the doppelganger.
I didn't think to stop you guys on this part of the summary before. Doppelganger, for you guys, maybe is editorializing a little bit. Who did you think that was?
I assumed that was the doppelganger.
Okay.
This was not a surprise to me. In the summary. We get this slowed and reverbed David Lynch original remix of American Woman by Money Magnolias as the doppelganger drives down the road. Really cool needle drop, really cool vibes here. We've discussed how Dale Cooper, the man, is a kind of a dork. And the doppelganger vibe is absolutely what Cooper would be like if he imagined the coolest man on earth. Like an insane snakeskin shirt, disgusting hair, buying the most expensive and boring Mercedes on the lot with a 40% markup over MSRP. Like it's just like a slimy and like the whole vibe is just insane. Very evil, but like what would a dork think is really, really cool. He looks like he should have performed at the All-American halftime show.
Yes. This is another thing where it's like, oh, I can't wait to see what he gets up to next. Which I guess I'm gonna say for this entire show.
You give us
you
something,
keep leading
Chris.
me. Yeah, you keep leading me, and it's like, oh, he's really gonna love episode whatever. Um, yeah, so this was the first. This is the reveal of Lodge, Black Lodge Coop, coming out and doing his thing. Where is he? What's he been up to? And do you
He's
think
been
it's
assembling the
darkly
coolest
funny?
wardrobe of all time. That's what he's been up to the last 25 years.
Well, I think he's working on some form of martial arts because I guess he kills the guy, right? He kills the guy the second time the guy
Comes
tries
at
to
him.
get at him. He does like some move, and well, I guess the apparatus kills him.
He
Coop just moves
he's
his
been
hands really
studying
nicely.
under Steven Seagal of chair-based hand-to-hand combat, where he needs to move very minimally, and his enemies fall over before him,
Yeah,
seemingly of their own
student
volition.
student surpasses master probably.
Yes. Very bad vibes from this cabin. Like this, the lighting here, the decor, just no one, no one seems cool, normal. I loved the pairing of Ray and Daria here. Like, no offense to either of the actors here, but like the casting pairing here is just brilliant. Where like they're both good looking people on their own. When you put them together,
This is great. This is awesome.
the like
Be
the
careful.
differences between their like he's got like a little face and she's got a big face, and it's just like right. Like he's got a smooth, all of his features are like in here close, and then all of she's looking like Navi out here. Both. I'm trying to compliment you people.
Wait, are these the I don't know characters' names? Are these the like the managers of this shithole, or are these the people that he requests and
He
like the
requests these
goons?
people. Yeah.
So these are the goons. Um, yeah, I was uh fascinated. Very Lynchian kind of thing. They look like 50s.
Yes.
Like they have the jacket, and he's kind of got the what do you get, the rockabilly
Yeah.
like almost kind of thing. And again, it's very funny to take the typical Lynch American 50s kind of thing, except this is like the darkest and grimmest I think he's ever been. Like so overt with yeah, give me those, like give me that pair of I need cronies. And they come out, and it's like after all of this time, it's 2017. This is the most degraded version of Lynch's evil of American Pie, suburban, kind of thing.
Oh man, and I'm just coming to this now, but it's it's additionally creepy and uncanny that he's still doing the 50 stuff. Like it hasn't progressed to be like, oh, now it's or now he's playing on like 70s aesthetics or something. No, it's still like it's specifically about the 50s aesthetic and values here. Like it's just even creepier where like it push hammers home that sort of like weird disjointed time phenomenon that you were talking about, Chris.
Society having
Yeah.
any actual function is an even longer memory ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's absolutely something to it, like this kind of frozen in time moment where, things were good for a certain kind of person. But even like politically, at least, it was like a booming post-war economy, New Deal programs. It's like it did do a lot of shit that we still, built highways and, all of this stuff. And yes, the perspective, the certain mindset, will say, would continue to go on and hold a huge uh, place of power in the country. So he's definitely like, it's interesting to see him go again. We're still doing the 50s thing, but this is like the 50s thing that our main character, who now has an evil version, in 2017, this is what he chooses, and this is how far, like the decay, like this is how far the decay is of this thing that's still hanging on. I think there's something there. I think he's got something.
What do you make of Beulah? That's her name, Beulah. She's like the manager. This is her place, it seems.
She's the GM, I think.
GM.
Yeah.
I don't know if she comes back. I was kind of wondering. I was like, oh, I don't remember seeing these people anymore. Fantastic scene, really is like the just the general atmosphere and
Sure.
the casting and the costuming. Like, what a vibe! If you're gonna show this, like what happens at Twin Peaks? We wait like decade, 2 decades to find out. And it's like, what do you mean the wrong coop come out of the lodge? And it's like, this is what he does.
This is the wrongest coop.
Yeah. So I don't know what I make of her apart from the entire thing. I can't really like.
She says it's a world
separate
of
her.
truck drivers.
Yes. Come and go. Is that what it means? Like the people she's able to pull from kind of come and go. Like, is that? It sounds good. I'll give her that. What she meant by it.
It's provocative.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could get is like people are just like transient and she can't like find people in the area who will stay put and be a good guard. Is like that kind of what she meant?
I will
don't
be
know.
thinking about World of Truck Drivers for a while, I think. What does it mean? All right, let's head back to
As
the
you should.
observation room.
Sam changes another camera's card and is brought another delivery of coffee from Tracy. When they find the guard is not present, Sam takes Tracy into the room. He admits that he does not know who owns the building and says that his job is to watch the glass box for something to appear inside. Tracy asks him if he has ever seen anything appear in the box. Sam replies that he personally hasn't, but he has spoken to his predecessor who claimed he did see something appear once, but the man also refused to give him any details on what it was. After sitting down to watch the box, they begin to make out, and soon after they start having sex. A ghostly figure appears in the box. The figure breaks out and slaughters them. Oops.
Okay. This is it's a horrific death scene here at the end. Really visceral, nasty. Like I'm feeling it like hit my face while I'm watching here. This is uncharacteristically consensual lovemaking that we see in Twin Peaks here between these two characters. I think that's interesting. I believe Sam like makes a point of like asking for consent at a certain point. And we have this notion that the Black Lodge or Bob or something about these like spirits, something they're responsive to fear, and that the White Lodge as an inverse might be responsive to love, or that love is perhaps not enough anyway. And I think there might be something to be said about the mixture of fear and love when it comes to giving yourself over to someone, like the way Sam and Tracy are doing, and that the Black Lodge and White Lodge or the spirit world are not so strictly separable in that way. And so this is going back to my idea that this is like Glastonbury Grove portal watching behavior. We're trying to like make something appear here, and they're responding to the fear and love that Sam and Tracy are experiencing with and for each other in this moment. And then they get freaking killed. Bad.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I was kind of curious if you have all of well, I guess someone has to change the SD cards. Like, I'm like, why is there a person there? If you're just monitoring the situation and you have to hire somebody, and it doesn't really matter who it is, just needs to be like a person who's like
He's like
watching
doing
the
it to
thing
get
and
through
switching up the
college,
cards.
right? That's what he said.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any particular expertise.
Yeah. Why does a person have to be there? in which case I'm curious. Again, I don't think this is revealed, but it must be that we want to see what happens if there's a person there. If a person sees
Mm,
something. And it's also curious that he's like, oh, I spoke to the person who was here before me and he saw something, but he wouldn't tell me what it was. And it's funny that you could just leave the job. Like, and it's like after we saw what we saw, he must have seen something similar that
yeah.
didn't kill him or whatever. But then
And
he
how
could just,
secretive it is.
yeah, he's allowed to just leave the job. I don't,
Mm.
You
unless,
train your replacement at this place.
yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know. Maybe whoever, I won't say who funds it. I guess they could just continue to work together because I'm just like, this is like a mafia thing or a secretive like intelligence thing where okay, you helped me, but now you have to die. Like you can't hold this information because that's more
Yeah.
risky. But I guess we'll just go on to keep working with this
Whatever.
billionaire. Um,
My read on this, and this is another place where I guess in the back of my mind I had already always compartmentalized this as like maybe this is something that will be revealed in the final two episodes. Uh, but my read had always been that the human element here is, I guess to put it briefly, kind of bait, I suppose. Like you're this isn't actually a passive job where we need somebody to just move around SD cards, but this is we need bait. We need a human element here that's part of the equation and what we're looking for.
yeah, like maybe the presence of a body with emotions um, pulls something towards it.
Yeah.
Like it's like through this, because I guess it is some sort of let's say if whatever this is like a highway, this is like a pit stop, and the pit stop doesn't exist naturally, but it was created to be put there. And then the person is like a McDonald's or something that it draws the driver on the highway.
Yeah.
Um, and without that, there'd be no reason to maybe go into the pit stop. I don't know. Like there would
Yeah.
be nothing drawing them because like, oh,
You
it's just a
need
cube and cameras.
you need the guy working the gas station to otherwise it's just an empty gas station. Nobody
Hmm.
else to nothing to pull over for. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
This is a very
yeah.
Dharma Initiative room. Like this whole thing. Like a
Yes.
secret box observation. We're getting maybe like layers of instruction that might be have layers of ulterior motives attached. Yeah,
Yeah.
again, it's
You're
the
in
So
an
far,
entirely
I don't know
you're
if
in
you
an
guys
entirely different place too,
yeah.
right? Similar
entire.
to the Lost thing.
What do you mean entirely different place?
Well, sorry. So, uh, okay, we've only seen two television shows on this podcast that we've only seen Twin Peaks and Lost, so we don't have a lot of references that we can talk about. But like, okay, in Lost, there's this island, right? And for a long time, you assume basically there's the island and there's the rest of the world, and this island is a uniquely special place. But then as you get further into it, then there's kind of, this revelation that it's not just this one island. Maybe there are these pockets around the entire globe that kind of can open up at certain times to kind of the magic that we see on the island. And I guess in my mind, there's a little bit of a parallel with Twin Peaks, where for two seasons, we really just see Twin Peaks. And then now
Yes.
in part one of The Return, suddenly we're in New York City. But there's clearly some connection here. There's something that we're going down that's going to take us back to something in Twin Peaks or something that we've experienced in Twin Peaks already.
Right. Correct. Yeah. Now I don't know if you guys got into this when you were watching Lost, but it's also I thought was similar to the Dharma Initiative when they're watching tapes, looking at um they find the tapes and it was like, oh, there was this company and they were looking for clues in the tapes. And when they were doing that, they were also referencing how audiences of Lost were like picking up clues and just being like, oh, what does this mean? Like blah 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 blah. So there was like a meta hypertextual kind of thing going on. Um and again, I was thinking about this as well with the Twin Peaks universe or even David Lynch in general. Like, oh, we're sitting here watching like a thing. Um, but when I was thinking of that idea, I was definitely thinking about how Lost had done that as well. Season 2 or 3, when they were finding out more about the Dharma Initiative and looking for clues and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably my favorite part of Lost, or the like the mystery part was just like digging into like the sinister corporate thing.
Yeah.
That's cool. Let's meet the funniest named character of the episode.
In an apartment complex in Buckhorn, South Dakota, Marjorie Green goes down the hallway with her dog Armstrong, who notices a smell coming from the apartment of Ruth Davenport. Marjorie goes to her apartment to report this to the authorities. Police officers Olson and Douglas arrive to investigate. They ask her about any individual that may have a key to Ruth's apartment. They call a locksmith, and she soon leads them on a search for the building's maintenance man, Hank Fillmore, who thinks they are there on a call for a crime he committed. Marjorie then reveals that she had a key to the apartment all along. Wilson and Douglas search the apartment and find a dead body in the bedroom.
I'm sorry, her name is Marjorie Green. Okay.
Origin story
Marjorie
revealed.
Brown.
Yeah. Also a Chihuahua named Armstrong. Great name for a Chihuahua. I've been considering adding a Chihuahua to my pack myself. Armstrong, solid name for a Chihuahua. They live in a hotel like Sun and Jin. For our lost friends. Hank, not the Hank. I was getting my hopes up that we might be seeing our Hank, but he looks a lot more
That'd
like
be too good.
NoHo Hank. This is another, like, Chris, I think you mentioned something earlier in the episode, just like how audacious, like spending time on this after 25 years, you're coming back with this, and then this whole little like diversion about like who's got the key and like where we're going, and do we need to talk to like Hank, this like random guy in the backyard? It's so funny that this is like we're spending time on this this here. And I don't know what's going on with any of these guys. There are several characters in the show, in this episode, that feel like Tim Robinson universe like casting decisions, and Hank is definitely a big one for me.
Yeah, you could picture him getting like flustered and then like talking to the guy later.
Yeah.
Where he was just like, oh, it's like that's supposed to be for me. Like, what am I supposed to get? Very much in his voice. But it's kind of interesting, like from a writing thing, where it's like, okay, we have to get into this room. And Mark Frost and David Lynch, I guess, were like, how do we make this longer? How do we like keep pulling this? What do we do? And it does kind of, I mean, it's funny. And it does kind of like reveal this weird, like something's not right in this area. There's some sort of crime being committed, which they are not good at hiding, clearly. Because immediately Hank is like, how did you know I was here? You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this is suspicious. And I think it's also important that the cops don't like pick up on it. Like they're not then being like, wait a
Mhm.
second, like what? Why are they acting so, you know, that's not like a thread they follow. Um, so it's not like pointless. Like there are other things going on. And I think they're sort of having like uh I think you're allowed to get away with this when you're geniuses. I don't know, when you're just like, okay, like we can let them in this door, the cops gotta show up and like get in there. But what if we like keep like teasing this out? Um what else can we get into? What else can we reveal? And I don't know, now that we're kind of going to different places, we get to see different like shady things that people are getting up to and how are they involved in the grand scheme of darkness, like
Sure.
getting one over. And what's so funny about like a neighbor who knows everyone's business but also can't recall everyone's business when
Mhm.
it's absolutely necessary. Who doesn't have a neighbor like that in their life, you know? We all run into these people. Uh, yeah, very interesting. There's truly nothing like this show. Like every scene, I'm kind of just like, they can't, you know, I think this goes around sometimes too, whenever someone calls something Lynchian, it's just like, oh my God. And then you actually watch something and it's like, it's really, there's nothing like it. Nobody, anything that is called Lynchian would not do this.
Sure.
You know, like wouldn't be able to pull it off in this in like anywhere close to that, you know.
It's such a yeah. It, it's it's such a reset to be watching this. To like, I mean, it's weird that we have as a viewer, theoretically, we have like a lot of uh Twin Peaks language that we've learned over the course of the years, watching and rewatching what has come out, and like ingesting like the Mark Frost, David Lynch uh, mindset, and then we're still just like totally n- unprepared for what's happening, or at least I am.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think anybody, I mean, there is like a lot of patience, you know, it is pretty slow. Although I'll say watching this again, I was like that the couple who's there to watch the box, they are killed. I thought that happened much later. Like I
Hmm.
don't like so much happens in this episode that I was like, I thought this was later. I, you know,
Same the box, especially for me. I was like, wait, I thought this was like halfway through the season or something like
yes,
that. This is moving so
yeah,
fast. Yeah.
yeah. So much happens, and you remember the weight of it. And I'm like, I do like slow cinema stuff, but I wonder how much that was where I'm just like, yeah, man, like nothing happens and it's awesome. But like you watch the episode, I was like, dude, a lot happens. Like I don't know. It's the typical kind of thing when you watch something slow, you're like, oh my God, nothing happens. But if you look back, it's actually like, oh, a ton of shit
Hmm.
happens. But yeah, I don't know how many people commit to that, even like when they're doing footage that's not Dale and Laura in the lodge and they're showing stuff from the pilot, I guess. I guess most of it is from the pilot, but it's slow motion, but like choppy in a way. He employs a lot of techniques that I think we are told. I don't know if you go to film school, at least when I went to film school or something like that, that it's like, oh, that's like amateur. You don't do that. Um, but and so nobody else would do it, but he does it, and there's so much like potency that it does create a very weird, or helps create a very weird, legitimately strange piece of art that people don't commit to. They might do people watching a box and then randomly getting killed, but not in the way like when he's doing that kill, that like this creature and this way that let's say he is animating it. If you go back to his shorts from college, he was doing the same thing. He's like pulling Twin Peaks: The Return. He's pulling so much from his filmography that um, I hate to say it, I would have loved to have seen him do more things, but even when watching this 10 years ago, it really did feel like this is the thing. Like this is his grand opus. Like he's pulling from everything all into this one. It's like the culmination of his entire work, like his entire body of art. Um, so to call something Lynchian, it's just like you're never gonna get there. Like it's never gonna actually do the thing that he's doing.
No one moves like David.
Yo, he was
He's on his own
unparalleled
in his
on
lane.
his own. And Frost too. You gotta say Frost.
Yes.
You got to say
Stay frosty.
Mark.
I want to talk about Hank's enormous cell phone. This man uses the largest cell phone of all time to call
I'm gonna pull it up.
Harvey. Did anyone else clock his big ass cell
Yes.
phone?
Did anybody ID it?
I didn't. No.
No.
It could be
I
like
know I'm doing the dumbass like yuppie thing of like, people watch watch a show about evil people or evil stuff. Like you watch White Lotus and you're like, I'd sure like to buy the furniture in this episode. But it's like, I would like to know what that phone is. It looks pretty cool.
Can't find it. Wait, is he said he's calling Hank?
Hank is calling Harvey, I think.
Hank is calling Harvey. I looked up Hank and I'm like, oh yeah, there is a Hank in Twin Peaks.
Yeah. Other Hank, new Hank.
Other Hank, yeah.
All right, Atticus, take us
I
away.
can't find this phone.
Hank questions Harvey, believing he sent the police to him, and they discuss the deal they made until Harvey hangs up. So,
And we don't know who Harvey is. Or at least I don't know who Hank is.
you don't know? Oof. Constantable investigates the crime scene as pictures are taken. Detective Hank McKay arrives and they pull the sheets off of the body, which instead is a male body that does not belong to the head.
Gross.
Who would do this?
You're telling me they chopped up a body and put two pieces in the bed? Gross.
Who would do this? Disgusting.
Dave is the other character, I think. Mackley, Dave Mackley looks like a chair company guy. And like just something about like just button your jacket, man. Like there's something about his posture, the way his tie hangs. I've really been I think that like putting people who look like real people into stuff has like long been abandoned by mainstream productions, and I'm just glad we get to see some like real looking human beings for once in this show.
It's the last time.
Yeah,
it's so awesome when he walks in. He's like, "I'm not touching you" or whatever. It's like, what was the incident that you're trying to pretending that you're learning from? Because Jesus Christ,
yeah,
we're on a murder
so
scene,
good,
bro.
Yeah, yeah, that was really good. That's like another thing, like a little writing thing that it's just good writing. It's like we're acknowledging it's funny, and we're also acknowledging something that happened off camera that they can then talk about that establishes a shared history. And it's also, yes, just weird and adds to the atmosphere. And you just like never see something like that. Like very
any other show would just have like the primary detective character just like walking. He's like, all right, tell me what's going on. Or like whatever. We've seen a million procedural crime shows where a detective comes in here. None of them are like, whoop, I'm not going to do it again. And they're like,
yeah,
right, dude.
Right.
Proud of you.
Or yeah, or even like so this is like a playful, jokey kind of thing, except it's in front of a dead body. So you have that kind of dissonance there. But again, it's like now it would just be like a fucking Joss Whedon, the Whedon speak kind of thing. Like that's what it would be. And then they would have to show that everyone else didn't like the joke, Also, Jane Addams. Just wanted to say Jane Addams in The Room as the character. Do we know Jane Addams? We don't know Jane Addams.
I don't. Who's Jane Addams?
Jane Addams, actor.
Okay. What do I know Jane Addams from?
I thought that would work. Happiness. She's in Happiness. Character actor, if you will. Yeah, I'm going to name some Swanberg movies, but I don't think that's going to help me right now.
Maybe. Oh, wait. I've seen...
You've seen her in stuff.
She's in stuff. All right.
Yeah, I guess she's more of a character actor than I thought.
Good for her though. She's
Anyway,
she's
Jane
the
Addams.
photographer, right? Or like she's the one, or no. She's the one like by the bed. She's the main one before Dave comes in.
Yeah, and she will run the prints later in this
Gotcha.
episode.
Okay.
Fragile Margaret Lanterman calls the sheriff's department for Deputy Chief Hawk. She tells him that her log has a message for him. Something is missing and you have to find it. And that this relates to Agent Cooper. She says that the way he will find it has something to do with Hank's heritage.
With Hawk's heritage.
Sorry, Hawks.
Yeah.
Okay.
He looking extremely cool. After all these years. Oh man. Margaret Lanterman. You may have noticed that the episode is dedicated to Catherine Coulson. Part 1 here. She died shortly after filming these, or shortly after filming this. Gosh, what an icon though. It's been 25 years, and Hawk is, I don't know, the station is kind of like hung up or something. He's Hawk is still in his same role, right, as before.
Well, he's Deputy Captain Hawk. Maybe this isn't said until later. Deputy Chief, yeah, which I assume is higher. I never know any of the military stuff or cop titles or whatever, but I assume
he's not
it seemed
sheriff.
like a promotion. He's not sheriff, but it sounded like he got some kind of promotion.
Talbot analyzes fingerprints found at the crime scene. Upon finding a match, she calls in Detective Mackley. She confirms to him that the head belongs to Ruth Davenport, but there is no match on the body, which belongs to a male. She also says shows that the fingerprints found at the scene belong to Bill Hastings, the principal at the local high school.
Shaggy.
Hell, it's Matthew Lillard.
I don't recognize Jane. I'm sorry, Jane, but I recognize Shaggy. Who kind of looks like Kimi from Lost. Isn't. It's just Matthew Lillard. It's fine.
Looks like who from Lost?
Kimi, the like mercenary guy. His name is Kevin Durand, the actor with the D, not Kevin Durant.
You think so? Oh wow, really? Matthew Lillard. Should I say it? He's great in this, man. He looks like he looks like an alien. You know, he really looks like very alienish in this episode. No offense. Love the guy. And I think he's doing stuff with his faces on purpose to look alienish.
Mm-hmm.
The haircut doesn't no favors either. It's great.
Yeah. Great
Very
performance. Great. Really good performance.
Mackley goes to the Hastings home where he arrests Bill. Anything to say about that scene?
He's great.
Again.
Scream. He was in Scream.
He's in Scream.
Great. He made his own movie.
He's Shaggy.
Fat Kid. Fat Kid Saves the World.
Yeah.
He was Shaggy in Scooby-Doo 1 and 2.
Yeah. So I had to look this up. Cop doesn't have to tell you why they're arresting you. Finding out that there might be some problems with their policing system here. They have to explain at your arraignment, I think is how it goes. But like, yeah, they take him into custody and like question him and stuff before telling him what it's about.
Hawk brings files to the conference room. Andy and Lucy enter, and Hawk explains to them about what the log lady told him.
Are you wearing a Wally hat on purpose, Atticus? For this scene?
No, not on purpose for this scene. Okay. I didn't accidentally put it on, but
it just fell. It fell off your hat rack.
Yeah.
Andy and Lucy's son is named Wally. Almost named Marlin, I guess.
So You don't know who plays the son, huh?
No idea.
I can't. Yeah, I can't wait.
Okay. Someone who's like who will be 25-ish, right? Like that's the their mid-20s.
30.
Okay.
Because we're the same age, I believe. So
Well, yeah, real life. Yeah,
yeah, me and him. Yes, right. I get it. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm
I don't think
interested.
you'd be. I don't think you'd ever guess.
Well, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, is Andy wearing like Andy's looking insane here, right? Like his his posture and his costume here. He like got like a throw pillow under his shirt here. It's very strange. And I'm gonna keep saying the word like hung up here, but like Andy and Lucy both seem they wouldn't be like introducing their son Wally or like the concept of them having a son like in this conversation unless it's like whatever. It's kind of hard to tell with like when it's stilted dialogue, but there's never been like no one's gonna accuse Mark Frost and David Lynch of being like overly expository with their dialogue. And except in this scene, we've got a son, and his name is Wally, almost named Marlon, like Marlon Brando. Is it Marlon Brando? Does Marlon Brando play the son? Okay.
Yeah, me and Marlon Brando, same age.
Same age.
This is who they are, though, right? Will, I mean, I get what I sort of get what you're getting at, but I'm so maybe I'm unnecessarily being defensive about this, but this is exactly who, Andy and Lucy are, right? This is obviously you only had to wait a week or so, or 2 weeks or something through the movie, but like you waited a long time to see them, and they feel exactly like they felt 25 years ago.
I would say in a way, because I think this is also part of the you can't really go back kind of thing. Where people are talking and it is stilted, and Lynch does employ that to other ends, but I think even Hawk being like, okay, we're going to do the files and we're going to get all the donuts, and which is something that they did in the earlier series, and things feel off. So they're again just being like, look, we're back and we're going to do all those things. And here's Andy and Lucy. And look, they did have a kid. They did get together. We don't have that other guy anymore. They got together and they had a kid. And I think part of the remove here is showing that time has passed and you should be feeling a little weird about maybe wanting to repeat all that stuff that you enjoyed already. Which again, I think one of the things that the series is trying to convey with its entirety.
Mackley interrogates Bill and Detective Don Harrison and Police Chief Mike Boyd observing. Hastings says that he did not really know Ruth Davenport, who was the librarian at the school, and he had last seen her a couple months ago. Hastings' story lines up until there is a 45 to 50-minute gap in his activities. He hesitates and says that he had taken his assistant Betty home during that time after a meeting. As Mackley writes down notes about the statement, he produces a scratching sound which notably distracts and agitates Hastings. Hastings finally nervously requests to speak to his lawyer before Mackley reveals to him that Ruth Davenport had been murdered and Hastings' fingerprints were found in the apartment. Hastings is then escorted out to a cell and he asks to speak to his wife Phyllis.
This is where Lillard's going. He's exercising his face, like you mentioned, Chris. But I really liked his performance in this scene. You can sort of see him like put the pieces together. That like, oh shit, his story isn't adding up, and he's kind of seeing this fall apart for him. It was a great job.
Mackley and Harrison go to the Hastings home with a group of police officers with a warrant to search Bill's home and car. Inside the latter, they find a piece of flesh.
Dave's
The man
flashlight is
resembling-
broken, which
So
is
good.
okay because it's
Yeah.
super bright out. Like, I don't know why you have your flashlight at all here. What'd you say about the flesh, Atticus?
I was just reading the last little line here.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah. Finish it out. My bad. Say it again.
The man resembling the giant watches the phonograph as it continues to play the scratching sound.
Yeah, a little piece of flesh in your trunk, as you might have.
That's not necessarily related. I mean, that's a normal thing to find.
That could
Yeah.
be incidental flesh chunk. Many such cases.
Yeah,
This happened to RFK too, and it was politically motivated.
that's a good point. Yes, it did.
Pop it in his mouth real quick. Wow. Okay, yeah, the man resembling the giant again. Could have fooled me, you guys. Watching the phonograph. Continues to play the scratching sound. I guess I didn't really pick up that Hastings got really agitated about the pen scratching noise. I thought he was just kind of getting agitated because of his story falling apart.
Being accused of murder.
Yeah.
You stop
Yeah.
scratching that pen. You're going to jail.
Do you mind? So, okay. Does anyone have anything to say about these final scenes before we move into kind of like our wrap up segment?
I love the detail of the flashlight
Yeah.
blinking. That's another like writerly thing, which then as like a director, you'd be like, oh, and now you get to do this cool thing. But it also does kind of work within the universe of like you get that close up of the flashing light and that kind of
Mhm.
it's similar to what he's doing with just the visual language when shit gets really weird, the flashing lights and I don't know. It's just like
Electricity.
it's a fun. Yes. Yeah, keep that in mind. Yeah, anyway, loved it. Loved it.
I liked the question marks in the credits, that there was someone cast as question marks. It reminded me of the trick they pulled was it beginning of season 2 with
when
Catherine.
Catherine goes undercover.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the giant. I mean,
Okay.
that's question mark. Or the
I
man
really like the
resembling
idea of
giant.
like there being like some bullshit happening in the credits.
Some bullshit. Yeah. I think we need to come up with some new superlatives for the return here. So, Chris, over the last 2 seasons, the vibes of seasons 1 and 2 have been such that we're like, we just love like the costumes, and we're like, we're just enveloping ourselves with in the vibes here. There's something like charming and fun about the world that we're in here. Being able like checking out this episode, I am less like enamored with like the little it's much less charming production design here. And so like I'm not seeing like cool thick wool sweaters the way I used to. But I guess like if we were gonna say outfit of the episode, I like Tracy's coat. Mentioned that.
Yeah, Cooper's Han Solo fit.
Oh yeah, that's true. I guess that is a crazy fit. That's good.
Hmm.
But if think of maybe as we move forward, what's some better superlatives to be rating here?
Give it a couple weeks. I have some
Oh, there's some good outfits
in mind. Not outfits, but give it a couple weeks on the superlatives, and I think some will start to emerge for
Okay.
you on
Okay.
categories. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think there's a particular character with a particular outfit that you will probably like.
Okay.
Hold me to it.
Okay. Texting you later, like I didn't like anybody's outfit this entire season.
Was it
Yeah.
this person? Was it this person?
Yeah.
Their
I
fit
hear
was
there's
trash.
actually well, the outfits of the goons that Bad Coop picks
Yeah.
up. Quite interesting. You know, as we've stated.
I want to give performance of the episode to Matthew Lillard. I think he shows up in a
Sure.
big way in this episode as Bill Hastings.
I did kind of forget he was in this, and I don't know how plugged in you guys are, but within the last month or two, Tarantino said he sucked.
Yes.
Did you guys know that? Yeah. Um,
Just taking a random shot at a guy who he's not like on top of the world right now, I don't think. Right? Like, why would
yeah, I
you
mean,
randomly hate on Matthew Lillard?
it seems pretty random. I never read the whole quote. I just knew that he's
And
in
Paul
Five Nights
Dano.
at Freddy's. And Paul Dano I knew, and then there was someone else that he made a crack at that made more sense. And it was like, oh yeah, and Matthew Lillard. I was like, okay.
It's so funny you bring that up, Chris. This series this podcast has kind of like there's been a shadow project of like bringing up Tarantino every episode in a different way to make fun of him. There's just like a different annoying thing that he said once that we talk about every time.
Nice. Cool. I did it without even knowing it.
Yeah.
You
Any
owe me.
other?
We're at the end of the episode and you might not have had it.
Yeah. Any other performances we want to shout out here at the end of the app? Sam is weird. I don't know who plays Sam here. But he's such like a blank guy. He's like default character creator, like style guy. He's so blank. His outfit is very just like it's default 2017 male. Is what's happening. The haircut is haircut one on the character creator. There's nothing going on with him. I think like there's something very eerie about that guy.
Mm-hmm.
You ever watched the revival of the Twilight Zone? Well,
No.
I don't know why you would have, but this show kind of feels similar, and it came out like 2019. It's Jordan Peele like did it.
I've seen that.
I kind of, for some reason, it feels similar to me.
Hmm.
And
Did you like it?
Interesting.
I watched the first episode. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed the whole thing.
Yeah.
There were a number of revivals, like legacy revivals around this time too, right? Because they brought the X-Files back around this time, I think fairly unsuccessfully. And yeah, the Twilight Zone, I remember that happening. I feel like that brought us, but there was a Star Trek, one of the reboots was happening this time too. But I assume nothing was moving like Twin Peaks. Like it was all sort of like, oh, let's run it back a little bit. Or like, the Twilight Zone is an anthology stuff, so you can kind of do whatever with it. But like the return is like, we're definitely not just trying to run it back with the return here, as far as I can tell so far.
This was planted.
Okay.
Premeditated.
Who wants to rate this episode 1 to 5? We got a 1 to 5 rating. Again, this is feeling not that appropriate to do quite yet because I don't really know how to receive this. But Ben, let's start with you. How do you feel about?
Why you gotta make me go first? It's great. It's fun to be back into it. I love Fire Walk with Me. I gave that a 5 stars. I talked about how I rewatch it all the time. I don't know. This is my first time rewatching part 1 of The Return, but I don't know. It feels like a 5. It was great.
Chris, you're our guest. We'll have you go next. How would you rate this episode?
Yeah, so I don't think oh wow, Matthew Lillard is 56.
They grew up so
Just saying,
fast.
I thought he might be a little older. Anyway, I'm dodging the question. So the pilot is incredible. The original Twin Peaks.
Yep.
Pilot is incredible.
I got a reminder of that this
movies.
week of how that episode goes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the movie's incredible, and I guess what I'm trying to say is this is a very, very good episode, and it's a very it also plays on expectations in a way where it's like so many people are waiting Like you are a weirdo and you made this thing that is very weird, but also has this like mass audience. And you went and did something legitimately weird, you know? And I have a lot of respect for that.
He
But
still
it's
got it.
like, yes, it's a weird. I want to say 5 out of 5, but there are episodes this run that are better, and I want to cheat and say 6 out of 5, 7 out of 5. You know, but maybe they're just different 5 out of 5s, and
Okay.
we could do that. But I'm happy to say like 5 out of 5. There's a lot of very interesting things and a lot of audacity in this episode, which could easily have not have done. I mean, you know, there's even more straight laced episodes, not by much, in this series. But yeah, I would say 5 out of 5.
Can I ask you to, before Atticus and I give our ratings, we've asked the two people who have seen the full series before or close to it and are rewatching. Is that how you felt after watching this for the first time?
Yes.
Yeah, probably pretty close. I mean, it was exciting. I watched it as it came out the first time, so yeah, it was exciting.
Yeah, Ben, I don't know if you felt this way, but I was also fully prepared to take it as it was. Like I kind of felt like David Lynch said it's going to be more like the movie. And I
Mm.
think it is. Once you first start watching, you're like, oh, okay, this is David Lynch. He's doing his thing. And when that happened, I was kind of game for whatever. And
Yeah.
even while watching later episodes, I remember just being like, I don't think this is going to wrap up in a way that TV has trained us in the last bunch of years. So I was super excited just to see what was going to happen. And my expectations were just that. So I was super happy with what this was. It was so much
Yeah.
weirder than I ever thought.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think I had a similar approach, have a similar approach today too. Because I watch, like Will and Atticus know this, I watch way more movies than I do television. I watch this is the television. This is the series stuff that I watch throughout the year, and then otherwise I'm mostly watching feature length films on my own. And I think I still kind of go into every episode of this in the same way that I go into almost every film, which is like I just hope this is really good and I'm pretty much game for whatever happens. I maybe have some sort of expectations, but not in a like I hope it meets these expectations kind of way. I'm just excited to see what happens.
Mhm.
Atticus, do you want to give a rating?
I'll say 4 stars. I thought it was pretty good.
I'm also gonna say 4 stars. Although I can't, I want to be levitating the way that I was at the finale of season 2. I can't quite bring myself to like pronounce this a masterpiece after only seeing this episode. I'm really interested to see how it fits with the rest of it. Um, I'm still whatever. The disorientation is part of it. I understand that, but I'm gonna say 4.
Yeah. It's a different 5 out of 5 for me, like I said, because the finale, I think, is one of the greatest pieces of art or whatever that I've ever seen of season 2. And it is the culmination of everything of the story before it and the way it ends and the way everything is done. There's some more traditional narrative stuff in there that hits all of those receptors we have that is hungry for that. Whereas this, even just being a first episode, does not do that. So you have to take in the time spent away and all the weird potential digressions we're doing and it assessing its own history and all of that. So yeah, it's really hard to compare it to other episodes. Even the pilot, which is another 5 out of 5 for me, but the pilot is doing different things and it is more traditional in terms of narrative and
Mhm.
TV than this piece is. Um,
Should
because some of
we?
it too, I don't know.
Should we? Is that? Should I be expecting more of this? Or like if I go into the rest of the return being like, okay, I saw part one. What am I asking here? Because yeah, I mean, really, you just watch it and like form your opinion. Like, well, this is so hard, dude. Just chill. Uh, is it gonna be more like this? Is it is it more like this the rest of the series?
It's really going to change
Okay.
in many ways. It like yes and no. I don't know, Ben. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it'll it'll certainly start to evolve pretty soon here, but like I kind of just want to say yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Like Chris has been saying, we're not we're not really going back. If I can at least tell you
Yeah.
that, right? It's not going backwards to what it was before.
Yeah, and there are some episodes that are like undeniable.
There's the is it part 8? That's the one that everyone talks about. How? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm looking forward to that. Anything else that we should keep in mind about the return, or you want to say about the Twin Peaks project, Chris? While we have you here.
Um, Not really. I guess I also want to tell you that it eventually, like the level of funny some episodes get, I think you're kind of unprepared for.
Okay.
Um, like
That's fun.
almost switches genre in some way. Um, but yeah, no, I kind of mentioned this where I think like Twin Peaks: The Return is very much a culmination of a long body of work. Um, and it was hard to see how he could even do anything else after that. And that's not to say I didn't. I think I have seen people say like, "Oh, I'm glad he didn't do anything after." It was like a just a weird thing to say.
That is
Um,
kind of fucked up to say.
People are weird, man. Every day I look and people are so weird, you know. But that's it's not me. Yeah, I would have taken it, but it does feel it's like literally everything. There's so much of him in here. It's fantastic, and I've never felt the way I felt after the last episode. That like I that lingered within me for an entire like the week preceding. I was at work, just walking down the hall, and just really, really shook me to my core.
You're talking about the
And
finale of this season of season 3 here.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Um, like, and I love the season 2 finale big time, but this is, yeah.
Mhm.
And another interesting thing too, I'd be curious if have you guys read
No.
Inherent Jest?
Or Infinite Jest or
I
Inherent
said
Vice.
Inherent Jest.
Yeah.
Inherent. Well, I meant Infinite Jest. But you haven't, no.
No,
I've read
I
some
Um,
of
haven't
it.
either.
We were just talking about David Foster Wallace last week, though.
um, yeah, it's a long book, and you are meant to finish it and then read the first like 100 pages again,
Mm.
which I did not do, but I sort of thumbed through it, and the first 100, maybe not first 100, but the first like it's kind of a lot. It was, I don't want to do that. Um, but they're really difficult. And then when you actually, if you actually go back knowing the entire story, you're like, oh, okay, now this makes this so much clearer.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
I'd be curious if you guys did that with this episode. Um, I just
I
had
can
that
see
thought
myself
when I was watching
doing
it.
that already for some reason. Like, even though I have no idea where this is going, I've enjoyed revisiting things.
Mhm.
But I'm learning that you can actually go back, so it's kind of a futile
It's tough.
mission.
Well, there's
Folks,
2 lodges.
at least like Joe Biden answering how many lodges there are.
More than one.
Folks, thanks for listening to the show. Next week we're gonna watch The Return Part 2. Chris, thank you so much for joining us today. Anything you'd like to plug?
Well, thank you for mentioning a bunch of my films. Go to Means TV. You can see my films. You can see Will's film on means.tv. And also another thing I spent a lot of time on is I interviewed Mutandar al-Zaidi, who threw the shoe at George Bush, for the Baffler. So please read that. I'm
Really good conversation. I really like that
Thank you.
piece.
Way less inclined to be writing anything, so that took me a very long time. Shout out to my editor, Grayson. But yeah, please do read that because it took me a long time. And it's not like a movie where you might get a screening, or whatever. It's like, oh, it's out there and it's like, whatever, done. I guess that's it. I have a Linktree, which I should mention.
Okay, we'll drop
My
that in the
Linktree is
description. Yeah, check everything Chris
Yeah.
out. He's check out Means TV. Check out the stuff that we've got on there. Read the piece in the Baffler. Does Muntazar Al-Zaidi watch Twin Peaks? Did you ask him about that? What do you?
No, I should have.
Okay, maybe. You can
Yeah,
come
I'm
on the
sorry.
show. That'd be a good get.
Good, you can get them.
Yeah.
DM them.
Folks, that's gonna be it for us today. Thanks for listening, and Ben, hit him with the catchphrase.
I don't. Part 2's next.
That's right. This is a brand new Extra Good podcast. Learn more at brandnewextragood.com.